G'day everybody, Ben here. Thanks again for tuning in. Well, what a huge week for sport and a huge congratulations to the Matildas for their outstanding achievement getting into the semi-finals. Sadly, that was the end of the line, but right around the country, what a celebration and camaraderie of everybody getting behind the girls there was nothing short of astounding, and for good reason too. Now into property, the auction clearance rates for the week past landed at 56.2%. Slight bump up, that was up 3.5% from the previous week. Now we did notice a couple of weeks ago that there was a bit of a flurry with new homes coming into the market as we braced ourselves expecting that this could have been the early spring rush. However, a couple of weeks on, and it almost seems like that flurry was short-lived as we're still waiting on that injection of new properties to come into the market ready for spring. Now, the hot conversation that's been circling around for some time now is this mortgage cliff, and we are actually starting to wonder, is it going to happen? Now, if we have a look at the media spruikers, they were suggesting June, July was going to be D-Day. Now, that was followed quickly by July, August, and as we press into the end of August, we are certainly wondering, is this mortgage cliff going to take place? Christopher Joy this week released some data that both corporate and home loan defaults are starting to climb and rise sharply. This is, however, for non-bank loans. So the banking loans are obviously highly governed by APRA. It's the riskier loans which are starting to take effect. So I guess you could say, on one hand, this mortgage cliff is starting to take effect. Now, Christopher Joy also noted that the banks have only passed on 85% of the RBA's cash increase, which means that the major banks have been holding back 50 basis points. Now, I guess you could almost assume that maybe this is part of their play and might provide a bit more of a softer landing for most of the mortgage holders out there as they're coming off their low fixed rates. Now, while the RBA have held increasing that cash rate for the past 2 months, Mark Boris weighed in this week on news.com suggesting that these RBA cash rates are not the solution to getting inflation under control. And like everyone, he suggested that we're all feeling the pain when it comes to both the gas and electricity supply. The infrastructure just is not there to keep those costs down. When we look at the landlords and also the renters, rent is going up because landlords' costs are going up, which is further driving inflation. Then on top of that, we have the government making sure that we've got a huge injection of migration into a country which is already starved of available homes for people already here at the moment. And it's suggesting that the infrastructure gap is so deep-rooted that it's going to take a long time before we get out of this inflation hole. So how is this all having an effect out there in the front line in our property space? Well, the reality is supply is remaining tight. And whilst we are excited for new homes entering the market for this spring season, we're still unsure whether the volume of these homes entering the market will supply the appetite for the overall buying audience. Out and about this weekend, we've got a number of awesome homes worth checking out. One of those in particular is over at number 1 New Jersey Road in 5 Dock. This exquisite brand new build is tiered over 3 levels, some 4 bedrooms of accommodation, a number of bathroom options, pool, lock-up garage, clean lines, state-of-the-art level of finishes. It also has a huge basement downstairs which could be used for a myriad of options. At the moment, it's set up for a gymnasium and also a home cinema. However, you can use it for whatever you see fit. If it fits, it'll work. Now, if that one's not big enough for you, cast your eyes over to number 14 Pangilly Street over in Riverview. This one's being looked after by George Gialoris from our Lane Cove office. This home has everything that you could imagine. It's got 4 to 5 bedrooms. It's got a media room. It's got a studio. It's got a rumpus room. It's got pools. It's got clean lines. It's modern. It's got a backyard. It is absolutely outstanding. Now, for anyone that's in the know, you will know that this is the creme de la creme for the suburb. It's a wonderful home, great entertainer, perfect for families. Make sure you reach out to George to find out a bit more information. That's it for me. Thanks again for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you out and about. Bye for now.